Do it. Do it. Do it scared. Do it depressed. Do it unsure. Do it uncertain. Do it confused. But do it. Do it. You will never know if you don't do it. Peace.
Hi,
It's so nice to meet you.
nice to meet you too.
Welcome to Ethers Interviews. And what it is as I'm scrolling through my Instagram, you popped in randomly. I wasn't looking for you. But there you were. And I opened up your first post, which I'll show in a minute, but it really spoke to me. I don't know you. We're complete strangers. There was such a story behind your eyes. And it was true, and it was meaningful, and it was honest, and it was raw. It was very human. The look in your eyes are very human. And what you said was incredibly, incredibly touching. It really touched my heart. And that's when I know that I want to speak to someone and I want to know more about them. And this capacity that we have as human beings to feel each other, even though we don't know each other, I think is the hands down best quality that we have.
Yeah.
And if we could all really focus on that, boy, the world would be a better place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me just show this post, the first one that I saw. It literally brought tears to my eyes.
Do it. Do it scared. Do it depressed. Do it unsure. Do it uncertain. Do it confused. But do it. Do it. You will never know if you don't do it. Peace.
Why did you post that?
So I just woke up, so you could hear it in my voice that I just woke up. I just rolled out of bed. I had some work I needed to finish up that morning before like the start of the day. I just rolled out of bed, opened up my laptop. The light on my face was from my laptop, and I pulled out my phone and I just recorded that at the moment. And it was me realizing that a lot of times what holds us back are not the things that are happening to us, but we hold ourselves back. You know, things can be happening. You might be depressed, you might be struggling, you might be confused, but you have to get things done. It sometimes the things I'm learning to look at the glimmers in life. So glimmers are like the things, little wins, things here and there that happen that you instead of looking for triggers, you look for things that can give you joy. So look for little one here and that little one there, and just hold on to them because life can be a lot, but having those moments can help you spark joy, and you can run on that as energy. So I remember last month I just randomly reached out to someone she's a creator too. She makes amazing stuff, writes amazing poetry, has amazing cinematography. Like she's amazing. I love her so much. Her name is Poetic Sparkles. And I just felt like send a message to her asking for a collaboration. And I did that, and it was like around 7 a.m. And by 10, she replied like, yeah, let's do it.
That's exciting.
Just like that, like straight away. I stopped posting for a while, and because a lot was happening in my life, and I needed to just take some time away. And also, I'm also trying to stay careful with what I put out online, and not just like ensure that I'm sharing my hope and not just giving people stuff that feeds into their sorrows and their pains and just take them down that road. I want to give stuff that is relatable, but at the same time can give you hope. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course it makes sense, but I think also you're not creating content for a crowd.
Yes.
You're not creating content for the sake of creating content
Yes, yes,
and generating, or you're not manufacturing content.
yes, yes, very much yes.
It's coming. You're thinking
Yeah.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you feel like it's something that is useful to you,
Mm-hmm.
you share.
Yes, 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 yes. That's one thing I do. And I stopped for a while, and then I realized that I was letting my own issues stand in the way of me giving stuff out. Because even though I felt like I was not in the most healthy space mentally and physically and emotionally and all of that, I still had things that I learned in that season that I felt the world needed also. So I remember I started doing that again. And right when I did that, I went to a work event and someone was like, oh yeah, I saw your video a couple of days ago. I would like you to be on this. Next thing, and someone said, oh hi, I saw your video like 2 days ago. I would like you to be on TV. And next thing I'm on TV, literally like 2 days after,
Yeah.
I'm like on TV. So I'm like, a lot of people are held back by the things happening within them, that they don't take action to do the things that would change stuff for them. I don't know if this makes sense. That's what that video was about. It was about not letting things holding you back. Don't let things hold you back. Don't let the things happening around you hold you back. So yeah, please go ahead.
Self-doubt.
Yeah. Sometimes it's self-doubt. Sometimes it's being yeah, self-doubt. Sometimes people are depressed, like you're sad, you can't move, you literally can't roll out of bed.
Sure.
And yeah, and things like that happen. People are in states like that where they feel literally physically crippled, emotionally and mentally crippled, but they just need to just step out. Just take that little step, just move. I don't know how else to explain it, but I felt that's basically what I was trying to say in that video. Like,
It makes perfect sense. When I saw your video, I think I started this project last year. I had this random idea. It was a random idea popped into my head to interview people in this exact capacity. And from that, I just began. But along the way, I've been asking myself, is this ridiculous? Is this stupid? Is this going to fail? There's so much doubt that it's a natural thing that occurs, but if you don't push past that, you'll never get to the other side.
yeah, very true.
You'll never see it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw your post, I was like, oh, yes, because I am struggling personally. I am having a really hard time. And sometimes there are many times where I don't want to do something, but I do it anyway. And there is so much more reward in continuing to pursue even little things like exercising. Exercising for the day. You know, if you do these things, life is a struggle. Life is difficult. We are always going to have challenges, some bigger than others. But there is a well of resilience inside of us.
Yeah.
We can tap into at any given moment.
Yeah. Yeah. If I may share, of course that's why I'm here. We're here to share. I always like to tell the story of how I started creating. So I used to be a lawyer. I used to
Mhm.
be a lawyer. I practiced for 10 months and I realized there was something else to me that I needed to put out in the world. And I was not, I knew it, I was sure of it, but the means to make it happen didn't look possible. It didn't look possible. And it was just one leap of faith after the other, of just try
Mhm.
it. The worst that could happen is it doesn't work. But if you don't do it, then it doesn't work. You get it? Like, take that step, try it. Because sometimes people say, if you, I've come to realize one thing, and it's even in my journey as a creator, it's the journey is the destination.
Mhm. Yeah,
The
it's
destination is not the destination. The destination,
exactly.
that journey, in fact, is the destination. Like, take that journey, go through that process. There are a lot of things you learn in taking that step and going on that journey, much more than just the end result. I realized that I enjoy much more than having the final video, the process of creating it, because every single time I make something, it heals something for me.
Mhm.
It heals something for me. So more often than not, I always tell people, if you see me post it, I felt it.
Mhm. Right,
And every single
absolutely.
time I watch the video, I still feel it. So yeah.
Well, every single person that I want to speak to, I feel first. It's a feeling first of that individual, but also in the journey. The journey can be pursuing something like this. You and I are pursuing something for our personal selves, a personal goal, something that we're reaching for.
Mhm.
But the journey is also the unplanned things, all of the things that occur in our life that um, are difficult and hard and
Yeah,
challenging, sad
yeah,
and
yeah.
hurtful, and all of those
Mhm.
things that, walking through those storms as well also builds a lot of resilience for us. And I see a lot of resilience in you. And it really makes me, and you feel free to talk about whatever you want to talk about. It makes me feel like you have been through some things in your own personal life. So if you'd like to share maybe a struggle that you've had, that you've lived through, that you've learned from, that you've come out of, is there something that you're comfortable sharing?
Well, I feel like I am first off, I'm a natural oversharer. I feel like it's one of the things that makes
Me too.
I feel like some of the things that makes sharing on the internet easier for me because people are like, how are you able to be so vulnerable on screen? I'm like, because I feel like sharing it and putting it out there makes it easy for me to deal with. I learned a new word from somebody, Rita Springer. She's a songwriter and also has a podcast. And she's a worship leader. She makes Christian music.
Mhm.
So she works in Nashville. I listened to her podcast and she was talking to her son, and she said something about being a verbal processor.
Be
And you make a verbal processor,
okay.
like being someone who processes things in their mind verbally, like speaking it out. And it makes so much sense because I realize I'm also a verbal processor. Like
Hmm.
talking things out helps me process it, helps me lay it out in words and like see
Oh,
it and
wow.
like
I am
go through
too.
it. And it makes it easier. Like learning that, I realize that if I have something I need to deal with, sometimes I can have to sit with myself and talk to myself.
Mm.
It seems and sounds crazy, but it works. It works every single time. It
Doesn't
works every single
sound
time.
crazy. It actually doesn't sound crazy at all. Last year at the end of 23, I needed to change some things in my life, and I didn't really know how I was going to do that. But where I was standing, I didn't like where I was standing at the end of the year. And I thought to myself, I don't want to be standing in this exact same place next year. And I joined a women's group through this woman that I absolutely adore and admire and look up to. Her name is Soraya Wilson. She's out of New York City, a beautiful, beautiful human being.
Need to write that down.
Oh,
Soraya Wilson, yes?
yeah, she's an instructor at the class in New York City. A very spiritual person and very, very, very wise. You could actually, I'll email you her, like where you can find her.
Okay.
I take her exercise classes a few times a week, but she really,
Okay.
what she asks you to do, yes, it's an exercise class, but what she asks you to do is go inside of your heart and see what's in there while you're doing these things. And it's really an hour of self-discovery that she kind of guides you through. And she's really like a mentor of mine and someone that I really admire. But in these women's groups, it's probably like 10 random women on Zoom. No one knows each other. So we're all essentially strangers. And everybody just comes with a sense of trust, but everyone shares in an extremely raw way what they are going through in personally, in relationships, with their children, personal struggles, private struggles. But everyone kind of shares. And what you just said about verbal processing, I spent the whole year like in this group, and you're absolutely right. I was verbally, I've never heard that term before. I am an oversharer. Like I'm completely an oversharer. I think I scare people sometimes because they're like, okay.
Hold on.
Well, a lot of people are private. You know, they're afraid to show everything that's inside. You don't seem to be afraid.
I believe the world would be a better place if everyone was honest. I believe the world would be a better place if everyone was honest, sincerely. I think we would have less problems. Wars would not happen if everyone was just honest.
I agree with you.
But we'll have less communication issues because most of the communication issues we have in our interpersonal relationships come from us trying to mask the truth or shape the truth in a particular way. Or we're used to people lying to us, or we're used to lying or saying something a particular way. And when it's time to present something new, we do it the same way. Or you understand what I'm trying to say. So I believe strongly in honesty, in people being very honest. Be open, be open. You don't have anything to hide when you hide nothing. So yeah.
But also, you know, there's a frequency and there's an energy between people. If you're being open and honest, then that energy between you and I is just going to flow.
Yeah.
But if you're holding back, and it's okay to hold back, it depends on where you are. It depends on what situation you're in, and it also depends on if you feel safe or not. And you know, there's definitely parameters in which you could share. For me, I don't really have a lot of parameters, and I have less parameters the older I get. It just becomes more open the older I get. Like in this exchange with you and I, there's no defense. We're both allowing it to be whatever it is. And in that is a real freedom,
Yeah.
and a real aliveness of being who you are. If you allow yourself
Yeah.
to be who you are,
Mhm.
all of the right things will come into your life.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine when we first met and we just started talking. And we had this term called radical honesty. We're like, okay, we're always going to be really truthful to each other no matter what. And in our truthfulness, we still don't know every single thing about each other,
Hmm.
but you can still feel the honesty.
Mhm.
So sometimes, even when the person is choosing to not tell you every single thing, you can always tell when the person is being honest with you. Like you can feel it.
Of course.
Yeah. One of my mentors said one thing, and he said people can feel stuff. People can feel honesty. People can feel compassion.
Yeah.
And compassion comes from a place of honesty. Compassion is a genuine feeling. You can't fake it. Compassion and honesty come from the same place. Like you can't fake compassion. You can't make it up. You can look like you're compassionate, but it will show. It will
You
show. So
we
yeah.
can feel everyone. There's a real system in play, mind, heart, body. There's a
Mhm.
real system in play. And in your stomach, in your heart, you feel someone. You feel someone's genuineness. You feel someone's truthfulness. And you also feel someone's inauthenticity.
Yeah.
You can tell right away. I could tell immediately. I could tell immediately you were from one post that you were a genuine, authentic person. I could
Thank
absolutely
you.
tell from, yeah,
Thank you so
it's
much.
you, it's you though. Thank you. Thank you for being open. Thank you for being who you are and sharing that. I mean, what I love about that short 15-second post that you shared, it was full of so much hope and resilience. And at the end, you always say peace.
Yeah.
And it just offers really a sense, a gift of peace to everybody that you're speaking to. And it's quite beautiful. I just want to show, I saved a bunch of your posts. You sing. You
Yeah, I
you
make I make music too.
you have did you begin singing in church?
Yes, I still sing in church. I
Yeah,
still sing in church.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
Christian. I love Jesus. A lot
yeah.
of what I create, even online, is rooted in my faith.
Mhm.
It's a lot of it is rooted in my faith. It doesn't look like it on the outside, but if you sit with it and listen, you can hear the underline there. Yeah, so yeah, I still sing in churches.
I'm gonna play a beautiful song of yours.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved someone like me. Oh, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
You really sing from your heart. Really, it probably developed in all of your time singing in church.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd always sang in church. I started singing in church at like the age of 10. 10. I started music directing at about 11, 12.
Wow.
Yeah, so I used to like teach the choir songs, arrange harmonies and all of that. And I went into uni. And then I met my music pastor, Pastor Pelumi Odejide. I love him so much. That man taught me so much about me, about connecting with who God has designed me to be, about moving through some of the issues I went through in uni, because I feel like my season in uni in college, we call it
Yeah,
university here.
sure.
My 5 years there shaped so much of who I am and how I see the world. And I'm really grateful for that covering, that leadership, and that mentorship that I had in that season, because it helped me see things rightly. a lot of things I feel like wouldn't have gone the way they did if I didn't have him and a lot of other people there to help me see things that way. He's one person I believe um a lot of the creative projects that I started doing, he was one of those people that I would send them to. Like I would randomly record something and like send it to him and say, oh yeah, this is good. I'll work on this and this and this and this. He plays the piano, plays really amazing. He's one person I learned how, he's one person I saw be honest.
Mhm.
He's one
Mhm.
person I saw actually be honest. He's one person
Yeah.
I saw who was not afraid to be himself, no matter what people said.
Right.
He's not a perfect person, but
None of us
it
are.
was it was so beautiful, and it is still so beautiful to see someone just live. I'd from when I was really young, always been in spaces where I felt very out of place.
Mm.
I'd grow up feeling very out of place. I would talk about stuff that my friends and my classmates didn't really understand. I listened to music that they didn't get. I was listening to really old stuff or I felt like a very strange person in
Yeah.
my natural setting until I left home and I went to uni and I met this man who is listening to the kind of stuff that I like, talking about the kind of stuff that I'm always thinking about. And I'm
Mm.
like, oh, okay, okay, okay. And then I reached out to him and asked him to be my mentor, and it was a bumpy ride. It was a bumpy one, but I believe it's really core. He shaped my growth spiritually, shaped my growth as a person. He gave me opportunities to even try out stuff that I didn't even believe I had. For example, when it comes to like my relationship with art in general, he's one person who I believe saw it before anybody else, apart from my family. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I grew up in my family. My parents always knew I was very artistic. The way I
Mhm.
saw the world was always different. But he's one person, there's a way you always take for granted what you have with your family.
Sure.
Yeah, so when you step out there and get to see other people say some things and see some things, you're like, oh, okay, so my mom wasn't lying. She wasn't just saying that to make me feel good, because we always think, yeah, moms always just say because they want you to feel confident, they want you to feel great, but you realize, oh, she didn't lie. This is here, and he's one of those people that saw that in me before really anybody else.
You
Yeah,
know, life is interesting because you're never on your journey alone.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are so many people, you're on your path, you're on your own path for sure.
Hmm.
There are so many people that appear along the way that add or take away
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
from
Hmm.
from your life. But specifically the people that add to your life and the people that you connect with, they really encourage more of your growth. I've had a tremendous, I mean, I'm 48. Obviously there's been a
You
growth.
don't look it.
I have 4 children.
And I'm being honest. I don't lie. You don't look it. If you said you were 35,
Yeah, yeah.
35, 35, even if you said 39,
You would
I would
have,
take it. I would take it. So
well,
you look nothing like 48.
I always round up. Like I just tell people I'm 50 at this point because I'm just like,
You look
I
you look
don't.
nothing like it. You look nothing like it.
Thank you. Thank you. May we all have youth in our heart forever. Um, but the whole the whole 48 years on this planet, I wouldn't change one part. And there have been some awful parts,
Hmm.
growing up was really challenging. There was a lot of turmoil in my house growing up. Uh, you know, sadly, this is a huge event that just happened in my life. My husband passed away on January 2nd. It's me and my 4 kids. The saddest thing in the world, living without him. Um, But I mean, that I would probably change if I could. I'm not gonna lie. I'd probably like if I was able to, I would go back in time and change that. But I can't. There's nothing I can do about that. But between January 2nd and today, it's been 2 months. I haven't, and not in a fake way. I haven't allowed myself, I cry every day, but I haven't allowed myself to give up or fall apart, or not that I don't, periodically throughout the day, but we have to keep going. We have to keep waking up and taking a step forward.
Mhm.
Every morning I do this practice that I was telling you about. It's an exercise practice, but it's also very meditative. And sometimes I'll go down there and my body feels like it's 10,000 pounds. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do
I
you know
think I
what,
get it.
you know when
I
you
think I
just
get it.
feel the weight of everything just feels heavy?
Mhm.
But I do it anyway. Again, why your video, do it, meant so much to me. Do it depressed. Do it scared. Do it even if you don't want to. Because it will, and it does on a daily basis, take me to the other side and get me through the day. Which is why I think your messages are so meaningful and so beautiful and so important in this world. Do you feel like you're being received more and more throughout this crazy world of ours?
So it's very interesting because the last time I was on Zoom having a conversation like this, I was speaking with someone. Her name is Revi Dahosa. She's an amazing person.
Mhm.
And on this subject, you asked me if how do I feel about being received? And sorry, my brain can be a little all over the place, but
Don't
yeah.
worry, me too.
On the subject of being received, I feel like here on Earth, I have, not to sound spooky, but I feel like I have an assignment. I have something I'm here for. I have something I'm here to do. And it's something that every single thing that has happened so far has led me to. Even in my one-on-one interactions with people, sometimes I feel the things that have happened to me have also helped train me to be able to give that. So my goal really usually is, and even when I make my videos, it's one person somewhere
Mm,
might need this. So there's always this thing with being a creator on social media. You want the numbers. You actually do need the numbers because the numbers will help you to keep
right,
creating.
right.
Yes, but in my mind, I look at the video and I'm like, I'm putting this out there for one person. So when I check the comments and I see the shares and I see what people write saying I really needed this. Even this conversation right here, right now, gives me so much joy. It gives me so much hope. It makes me believe that, okay, that which I'm doing is important. That which I'm doing is being received. So for example, when I made that video and I wanted to post it, I re-recorded it again. I re-recorded it days after, and because I was trying to get back to creating again, and that's why I made the video, because I realized that okay, I'd stayed away for so long and I wanted to get back, and I was feeling a little uncomfortable. I was like, do I really want to do this? I don't want to do this anymore. Can I get back into it? And it's like, just do it. Just do it. So I pulled out my phone and I recorded that in the moment.
Yeah.
So and when I re-recorded it, when I was trying to like with my camera, my mic and everything, lighting and all of that, I realized that it didn't feel like that one. Because I watched them side by side. On my edits, I have it there side by side. And I watched both of them and I'm like, yeah, this is the video. this is one that needs to go out. It's not as pretty as this one. It's not as clean as this one. It's not as put together as this one, but this one has the heart and the
That one's
truth that I
perfect.
want to say. Yeah,
Right.
and I put it out. And that was it. So for me, I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel received. I feel like people hear what I have to say
Yeah.
when I put this down and I see the comments, but necessarily as a person, except for like my loved ones, I allow me to say this. I don't really care if anybody accepts me, as long as my family, my loved ones see me, love me, know me, and are happy with me as me. I'm fine. But the rest of the world, because they really don't know me, really.
I understand. It's not the point for the adoration or
Yeah.
thanks or the popularity. That's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't agree with you more. That's not the point with me either. My point is the connection and the conversation between two people, but also you're very heart-centered, you're very heart-driven. Um, you're very you're very organically moved by the system within your own body and the thoughts within your own brain and the experiences in your own life. And that's the place where you start, and that's the place where you offer. And then whatever comes from that is up to the universe that comes your.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty, and that's really the beauty in what you do. I absolutely love your words. So I just want to share some more things that I just thought were beautiful about you. Oh, this one was nice. I loved this one.
Really?
Yeah, especially because of, I'll read it out loud because I thought it was
Okay.
a video, but it's not. I like to think my dad's love language is books and sticky notes, but I think it's quality time and acts of service. His birthday is in a few days, and sometimes I feel like I know him, but I also feel like I don't because I hardly get to see him ask for anything that wasn't about someone else. A lot of us don't really know our dads, what they enjoy or what they are about, and I honestly don't know. Men are always givers. We take pride and joy in our ability to take on responsibility. Dads rarely get the praise they deserve. If you have a great dad, text him and tell him you love and appreciate him. Yeah, I did really love that, especially in light of everything for us recently, and my own father, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
providers in the household, and the guys that went to work early in the morning, through late into the evening, and carried the burdens and the stresses of providing for their families, um, all day long while everybody kind of went about their day, laughed about, had their jokes, sat down, everybody gathered around, had their dinner. So that those little sentiments is your family. It's you, your father, your mother. Do you have a sister and brother?
My brother and my sister, yeah.
Okay,
I'm the youngest. My brother, my sister, then me.
and your mom
Yeah, my mom, yes.
and your dad.
Yeah.
Okay, so and do you guys all live together now?
Well, my parents live together. I'm in Lagos. My sister is here in Lagos too, and my brother's in the UK.
Okay,
So
okay,
we're all scattered everywhere
gotcha.
at this point. Yeah, we're all I'm the youngest, so like everyone else is like my sister's married, my
Yeah.
brother is doing his thing. So yeah.
Do you see each other a lot? Like, do you get together a lot?
Um, because everyone's busy. I see my sister here and there because we're in the
Yeah.
same city. I call my brother a lot. I still spoke with him like yesterday. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. What made you
yeah.
write that about fathers?
Very interesting. So if you check that post, you see a 14-day challenge right there.
Okay, okay, yeah, I did
So
that.
it was this thing. Victor Oba is a friend of mine. he started this thing where all came together. I was like, okay, we'll post consistently for 14 days. And whatever you want to post, whether it's a picture, a video, whatever you want, put it online. And right, I think then I was still barely at 1,000 followers on IG, on
Mhm.
Instagram. I was still on barely 1,000 followers. And I just constantly did that. And one of those days, I didn't know what to post. Then I saw this picture in my Photos app
Mhm.
of me getting sticky notes for my dad. Yes, my brother told me to get them for him and send them home. And because we're all still together then, we're all still in the country together. And I saw the sticky notes and took a picture of it. And I looked at them like, I can write something about this. And I realized my dad loves like books. My dad is a reader.
Mhm.
I picked some of that. I didn't pick as much of that reading side of him, but my dad can sit at a spot for 12 hours just
Yeah.
reading, and the entire world could be burning.
That's
Then
beautiful though.
the entire world could be burning, and he's like engrossed in the pages of his book, and he's just
Yeah.
in there, gone.
I'm so not a
And
reader. I'm not a reader. I wish I was. I'm just not.
I'm learning to be one. I'm learning to be one. My dad always gave us books and said, finish this book before next week Tuesday. And you dare not come back without finishing that book. I don't know how you want to do it. You will say, I don't know how you want to do it, but by the time you come back with this book, I am going to flip through, ask you questions, and you should be able to answer. So he did that for us. It was very interesting. Very interesting. So he tried to transfer that. He loves reading books. So and he always likes to write things on sticky notes and put them everywhere. So like he has food in the fridge, there's a sticky note on it saying, okay, this was made at so time and should be consumed before so time. Everything everywhere. He loves sticky notes. You see sticky notes with his signature on them. He just really loves that. So
It's
it
so
was
funny.
it's really interesting, man. He has a beautiful handwriting too. So it was always beautiful to see it everywhere too. So he loved that. Not in a all over the place, all over the walls type of thing, but he always loved like to like label stuff, put things in order, have things written somewhere so you can easily understand something. He's going out, has food in the fridge for you prepared, and you're coming back from school and you see a note on the door from my dad saying, okay, food is by so. So if you get home before this time, ensure you reheat it and all that kinds of stuff. He always had that. He was always so particular. So, like I said, books and sticky notes.
He seems
You
very
said
thoughtful. He seems very thoughtful.
very, yes, he is
Yeah.
very thoughtful. He's a pastor too. So
Okay.
he is one person who is very particular about people. I feel like I get my sensitive side from him.
Yeah.
And I
I
feel
was
like I get my sensitive
gonna,
side from him.
I
You
was just
said?
gonna ask you, I was just going to ask you, where did your kindness come from? Are your parents kind people?
Very kind people.
Yeah.
I would say I get my soft side from my dad and my very analytical side from my mom. I
Mhm.
get my face from my mom, I think. I always say I get my face from my mom because I like to think I look like her. She's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mhm.
And I get my very analytical side from my dad. From my mom, I get the side of me that knows how to stand up for myself from her. Because I remember a very funny story. I'll tell the story just because I think I made a video about it. Something happened in secondary school. This is like high school.
Mhm.
And I was on my way home, and this boy, who strangely was my junior, stood like we had like a standoff of a sort
Mhm.
on the road on my way back home, and I think the boy bit me,
Oh,
and
geez.
he beat me, and I was
Oh, he beat you. I thought
he
you
beat
said
me,
he
yes,
hit me
like
like,
no, 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 he didn't he
oh,
didn't
he
he didn't
bit
beat me.
you. He
He
did.
no, 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 not that. He bit me, like
Yes.
he beat
Yes.
me,
Oh,
and I went home and I was like, mommy, no, children of God don't fight. So like I didn't fight. He's not beat me. I didn't beat him back. And my mom just looked at me and said, bring your bag. Go back. Go back and fight him.
You know, that's an important lesson.
Very, like, I can never, she doesn't even remember it. She
Yeah,
doesn't remember it, but I
right.
remember because it made me realize that you can't always sit down and watch people do stuff to you.
No,
Like, she always says it like the least that would happen is they beat you, but at least ensure that they live with a mark on their body.
yeah,
Ensure anybody who's attacking you knows that don't go down without a fight. Don't go down without a fight. Sometimes in our bid to be peaceful people, we let even it's almost like you're an elephant, but you would not know how much power you wield if you never use it.
it's so true. But you know, it's interesting you bring up that story because it just made me think I never spoke up for myself. And I didn't have the ability. Let's say someone said something to me that hurt my feelings. I literally didn't have I would shut down. I did not have the ability to say to that person, you made me feel terrible, or I didn't have the ability to stand up for myself until probably like the past few years. I started not fighting, but just saying how I honestly felt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's freeing. It's
Yeah, so
very,
freeing.
and your mother telling you to go back and fight is really a much bigger, hugely important message to always stand up for yourself. Who's going to protect you? Who's going to protect you more than you? One. No one.
You know what's even interesting? What's interesting is I went back and I didn't fight him. He wasn't there. He ran.
Away from you.
He ran away from me because somewhere in his mind, he believed if I was coming back, I was coming with something of some sort.
Right.
That's what he believed, and he ran. And
Right.
it made me realize that people don't really know what you're capable of.
No. I think my final question is, where are you going?
That's a very big question because if I'm being
It is.
honest,
It is.
if I'm being honest, I'm in an interesting spot where it looks like things could go like 100 ways and be fine. And I'm sincerely seeking God's heart on what to do. And sometimes in seeking his heart, I've come to realize that sometimes even where you're going doesn't look clear. Because I look at my journey to this point now, and it's just been following one instruction, one notch here, do this here, do that there. And every single thing I look back and it all makes sense. Like there is this clarity on an understanding, knowing that okay, in following and leaning into what God says and the instructions He gives me, I am going to be fine. Because in my own planning can be flawed. My own planning is flawed, really. I could have excellent results, but I could get to a particular point and I'm like, okay, how do I move on from here? But in leaning into what His heart is for me, I can confidently take my steps, knowing that what is ahead is good for me. I'm sure
It,
that made sense.
it does, because I just feel like you're very connected to your higher power. And I think you are communicating with the universe. And I believe that the universe is communicating with you. I think you're putting a structure around it in the material world and choosing and guiding yourself in a particular direction. Also in the understanding of being led somewhere as well. I feel that in you. And I think that those are, for me, it's what life is about. We're individuals, right? Billions of people in this, you know, round planet of ours doing all of these different things. And you, Kingy, one individual amongst billions, seeking your way and kind of grabbing everyone around you and bringing them up with you on this journey of humanity and peace, and you're making the world a better place, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you.
And I do feel very honored to have sat in front of you, to have sat in front of and had a conversation with someone that is very pure and true. And I know I'm going to say gentle. I know if you have to, you'll throw your backpack down and, get ready. But you are an honest, true, good soul. And I'm very grateful that we sat down and had this conversation.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If I may drop a last word, and it's the fact that all that I am, all that I'm about is a product of God's, I like to say it, I always like to say it everywhere I go, with everyone, is a product of God's grace and God's mercy guiding me through my life. Because sometimes I sit with it and I'm like, how did I become this person? And I look through, like I said, I look through my journey and I see many moments of Jesus stepping into the room and making things clear to me, like, okay, do this, do that, do this, make this now. Sometimes even to the videos I make, it's just like I'm in church and my pastor is saying something and I just like, oh yeah, that what he said, make a video about it. And yeah, like stuff like that. And it's really it's my guiding lights really. And yeah, it's really beautiful, and I'm so grateful to be able to do this way on this level. I am grateful to function, really, to have purpose and know it, because yeah, it's a big privilege to be able to have purpose and know it. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I think a really important thing about what you said is, yes, God is guiding you and you are following that. But I think your ability to see it and to listen to it and be aware of it is like when you say clarity is there, you see the clarity and you act on the clarity. And that's a really important aspect of your journey as well.
I'm so grateful for that, really. I'm so
You can
grateful
see
for it.
it. Like imagine if you didn't have the ability to see those messages and
Yeah.
recognize that guidance. I think something that people miss, and that's why they feel misaligned, and that's why they feel lost. They don't see, in the beginning, you were talking about the glimmers. They don't see the glimmers, they don't see the signs. They're not aware of the things that are kind of guiding them in or out of certain situations. So your ability to see that is definitely a gift as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you
Kingy,
so
I want to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. This gave me so much joy. This blessed my heart so much also.
Thank you.
Hearing how my videos gave you comfort and how they helped you see things. I am like I always said, it's in the one-on-one encounters I have with people that I get to see the value in what I do, because sometimes it's like I loved it, it touched me, it blessed me, and put it out to the world. So whoever finds it, great. So when I get to find people that find it and actually find it, not just seeing the video, but like it touches their heart, it gives me so much joy. It gives me so much joy and so much fulfillment. And I'm grateful that you reached out sincerely, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Same. Have a wonderful, beautiful journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Have a wonderful, have a wonderful journey until the next time we see you.